attending this press conference. It is an honor to address you this morning on a moment of historic significance to our West African region. As you are all aware, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, is 50 this year. May 28, 2025, April 2025. That's right after the Easter festivities. And it will be hosted at the Accra International Conference Center. The launch is expected to commence at 11 a.m. and will set the tone for a year-long celebration across all ECOWAS member states. This solemn event will be marked by the unveiling of the anniversary logo of ECOWAS, as well as a declaration of the theme for the Jubilee celebrations. It is important to highlight that as part of the Holy Jubilee launch, host an extraordinary meeting of the Council of Ministers of ECOWAS on 22nd and 23rd of April 2025. This meeting will thus take place immediately after the launch event. This extraordinary meeting of the Council of Ministers, which will be attended by all foreign ministers and finance ministers of ECOWAS member states, will deliberate on the exit of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, the alliance of Sahelian states, from ECOWAS, and prepare a comprehensive report for the consideration of heads of state. It is our expectation that the launch will be attended by the chair of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President of the ECOWAS Commission, heads of state and government of member states, ministers of foreign affairs and finance ministers of member states, heads of partner organizations, as well as representatives of the Alliance of Sahelian States. It is worth emphasizing that the host president, President Mahama, has specially invited the heads of states of the three AES countries to join us commemorate this momentous occasion. This special launch will be hosted by President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. As we reflect on the state of our regional economic community, it is no exaggeration to say that the legacy of ECOWAS over the past 5 decades has been one of modest transformation, driving regional integration through harmonization of policy, pooling of resources, and cooperation for a collective and strategic combat against a myriad of problems confronting the region. Through protocols such as the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme, ECOWAS Brown Card Insurance Scheme, and the ECOWAS Free Movement of Goods, Persons, Residents, and Establishment, the regional body has achieved an appreciable level of regional integration with an enviable track record on the continent. Thousands of young West Africans have gained critical skills, fostering a new generation of entrepreneurs, engineers, and policymakers through initiatives such as the EU ECOWAS scholarship programs, infrastructure projects such as the West Africa Power Pool and the Abidjan-Lagos corridor are strengthening connectivity, trade, and industrialization, bringing us closer to a borderless West Africa. In the area of peace and security, ECOWAS has been a pillar, intervening in crisis and upholding democratic principles through peacekeeping missions and diplomatic efforts. Yet recently, the impact of ECOWAS in forging together an integrated regional economic bloc of 50 member states has been somewhat diminished in the face of political and security challenges, which have led to the withdrawal of 3 member states, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. The 3 member states, as we all know, have since formed the AES, which is the Alliance of Sahelian States. While this is a challenge for regional cohesion, ECOWAS, in response, must reinforce diplomacy, enhance security, and remain resolute in its vision of a united and prosperous West Africa. It is fair to say that this has been the philosophy underpinning President Mahama's recent shuttle diplomacy and pragmatic approach in addressing the AES challenge, which, as you all know, has been hailed by his peers and many other observers. As we mark 50 years of ECOWAS, it is imperative that we seize this moment to chart a bold and ambitious course for the next 50 years. The ECOWAS at 50th anniversary is not merely a ceremonial event. It is a strategic opportunity to celebrate our achievements in fostering regional stability, economic growth, and cultural exchange, strengthen solidarity among member states amidst evolving geopolitical dynamics, enhance public awareness of ECOWAS's role in peacekeeping, trade, and development, advance inclusive dialogue on the future of regional integration, rekindle hope and belief in the ECOWAS vision, particularly amongst the youth of our sub-region, and showcase Ghana's leadership in driving the ECOWAS agenda forward. To ensure the seamless execution of this landmark celebration, the government of Ghana has constituted a planning committee chaired by my office, which is working assiduously to deliver an excellent program of activities befitting such a solemn milestone. And I must use this opportunity to commend colleagues on the planning committee, together with our ECOWAS planning committee members represented here in Ghana by Ambassador Lawal Ghana, who have been very phenomenal in supporting our local planning committee to put together this Jubilee launch. The success of this event is a national priority, while the ECOWAS Commission will bear the majority of the financial burden. And I must emphasize this for those who may say that in this period of austerity, Ghana is probably attracting more expenditure. I must emphasize that this is burden sharing, and all ECOWAS member states have contributed to the kitty. And so this commemoration will largely be borne by ECOWAS, and Ghana's contribution, to say it very bluntly, will be minimum. The majority, the main contribution is from the ECOWAS Commission. Having said that, Ghana's commitment to providing security and logistical support underscores our unwavering dedication to regional unity. We therefore seek the full endorsement and collective support of all stakeholders, government agencies, private sector partners, civil society, and the people of Ghana, to ensure that this celebration is world-class, befitting our nation's reputation as a leader in diplomacy and regional integration. 50 years ago, on the 28th of May 1975, visionary leaders from across West Africa came together to sign the Treaty of Lagos, giving birth to an ambitious project, creating a regional bloc that will promote economic integration and improve the lives of our people. At that moment, they laid the foundation for what will become a formidable force for progress, unity, and peace on our continent. Since then, ECOWAS has evolved beyond its economic origins to become an institution that stands as a pillar of democracy, a guardian of regional security, and a beacon of social and cultural integration, and a promoter of human capital development that is working to ensure food security in a sustainable way. On this occasion, let us remember that regional integration is not just about policies, it is about people. It is about the entrepreneur in Accra and Abidjan, the student in Lagos and Dakar, the journalist in Lome and Freetown, and the peacekeeper in Banjul and Bissau. It is about the farmers, traders, artists, and innovators who believe in a future where West Africa stands united in strength, stability, and shared prosperity. This Golden Jubilee is more than a commemoration of time. It is a testament to the resilience, cooperation, and shared aspirations of West African nations in their pursuit of deeper cooperation in the areas of trade and investment, human capital development, agriculture, health, good governance, infrastructure development, peace, and security. This is why it is indeed a singular honor that at the 66th Ordinary Session of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, Ghana was entrusted with the privilege of hosting the official launch of this auspicious occasion. As already indicated, the launch ceremony will serve as a launch pad for a year-long series of events in other member states of the ECOWAS region. West Africa is looking up to Ghana, and Ghana is definitely ready to lead this celebration with pride, purpose, and excellence. And together, as one people, we shall reaffirm our unshakable commitment to a stronger, more united ECOWAS. I thank you very much. I shall now take your questions.
Yeah, thank you once again, Honorable Minister, for that concise presentation. In the interest of time, we would expedite the question and answer session. So I would ask all those who may have questions relating to the presentation that is made or any other matter that is relevant to the work of the Foreign Ministry to put up their hands and step forward, ask those questions. Each questioner will be limited to one question in the interest of time. Please come forward if you have a question. The reason why we ask you to come forward is that the cameras want to capture the questioner. Elsewhere, the questioner is not shown. It's the question that is captured. But here, we want to see who is asking the question. Yes. So we'll take 5 questions in this session, and then the Foreign Minister would answer them, and then another 5 members. So please step forward if you have a question. Yes. Identify yourself, and then limit yourself to one question. So if you have more than one, please prioritize. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Honorable Minister, thank you for having me.
Please speak up.
So, my name is Victor Cariou, the Radio France International correspondent, among other media, here in Ghana. So, because we are talking about ECOWAS, I would like to focus on the future of bilateral relations between Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire, especially in the situation of former Prime Minister of Côte d'Ivoire, Mr. Soro. My question being, is welcoming a person wanted by Côte d'Ivoire in Ghana's soil not going to damage the diplomatic relations with Côte d'Ivoire, in your opinion? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. My name is Atamensa from Ghana News Agency. I want to find out the number of heads of state that will attend the lunch, and then the common currency for ECOWAS. How far? If you can update us. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Godwin Asidiba. I work with Media General. My question has to do with a story we have been working on for close to a year now, and it has to do with some 14 Ghanaian men who are stuck at the front line of the war in Russia. Some of them have died. Others are also hoping that they would be able to return home, but their passports have been confiscated. I would want to know if this has been to, if you are aware about this particular situation, and possibly what can be done about it. Thank you.
We have space for 2 more questions, if anybody has any. All right, the Foreign Minister would now answer these questions, after which we come back for another round.
Yeah, thank you very much for those questions. I'll start with our friend Victor's questions about relations with Côte d'Ivoire following the recent visit of Gulam Soro to Ghana. I must place on record that the visit of Gulam Soro was a private visit. He was not invited by Ghana. I did carry out some checks after my attention was drawn to his social media posts that I think he paid a visit to the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, and he put out a post from there that he was on some pilgrimage in Ghana. My checks with officials indicate that it is a private visit, and we have had engagements with our counterparts in Côte d'Ivoire, and they are perfectly fine with his private visit, to the extent that we did not invite him, and it is not an official engagement. We do not expect that the visit of Soro to Ghana will mar our very cordial diplomatic ties with Côte d'Ivoire. So that's how I respond to that. Then Mr. Atamensen wanted to know the number of heads of states expected. As I did indicate, all ECOWAS heads of state have been invited for this event, including heads of state of the AES countries. You do know that because of the divorce from ECOWAS, it requires the host president to be solely responsible for that invitation. So they will come as hosts of the Ghanaian president because of the divorce. But in the spirit of goodwill and seeking to foster reunification, which we hope that will be achieved in the shortest possible time. All sides, when President Mahama discussed with his colleagues that he wanted to invite the AES heads of state, he did not face any opposition or resistance, which is really a good sign that there is that genuine commitment and desire for ECOWAS to be fully reintegrated. And those of you who followed President Mahama's state visits to these AES countries, you recall that they did indicate that if ECOWAS will recognize their bloc, the AES bloc, and will not mind inviting them as a bloc, not as individual countries, then they were open to the idea. So President Mahama has briefed the chair of ECOWAS, President Tinubu, as you do know, following his shuttle diplomacy. And President Tinubu has said that at the next ECOWAS Heads of State Summit, President Mahama will be given the floor to present a detailed report of his engagements so that some of these considerations and the concessions, which I imagine will be discussed by heads of state. You need also to recall that during this launch, there will be the extraordinary meeting of ministers to discuss the same matter, and a report will be presented to the heads of state. So you can see a flurry of efforts to get our good neighbors to return to the fold, even if they'll return under a different guise, under a different format. What is important is that we are so interlinked, we are so intertwined, we are one people, we have common ethnic groups, a common culture, common heritage. There's so much that that binds us together, you know, than those artificial boundaries, as you know, which were boundaries not created by us. So we are very confident that we will see a reunited ECOWAS. Then on the other question of the common currency, the vision is alive. It has not been abandoned. It's not been deserted. The challenge is with finding a common platform to converge. But to the extent that the preliminary structures have been done, and there is also that political will, I would say that let us keep hope alive, and that in the shortest possible time we shall have a common currency. Not only a common currency, but a common standby force and common institutions that would help in helping us attain full integration, including a common central bank and all of those ideals that our founding fathers committed to when the organization was born in 1975. Then our friend from Media General is following up on the 14 Ghanaians, you say, who are caught up on the front lines of the Russia-Ukraine war. We did see that publication, which was like a distress video that went viral, and we asked our mission in Moscow to report. I must say that it's been very difficult for our colleagues in Moscow to really identify these people, locate them, and to know exactly where they are. We didn't stop there. We invited the Russian ambassador in Accra for a discussion on this matter, and he has also asked for details. He says that his embassy and his government is not aware of this situation. It didn't go through formal channels. From our preliminary investigations, it does appear that there are some private recruitment agencies who promise people jobs in Russia or Ukraine, and then unknown to these young people who are looking for decent work, who are not soldiers or warriors or vigilantes who did not set out to go to war, are then lured to the battlefront if those reports are to be confirmed. But I can assure you that we continue to look into this matter. We've told the authorities to pursue this, and we would want to use this opportunity to reach out to the Ghanaian populace. If you do have any relative, any son, any loved one who you believe has been lured to the front lines, please, let's have the details. So far, nobody has been forthcoming to give us details, concrete details, so that we can really pursue this matter. Apart from that video which emerged shortly online and disappeared, and we have not heard of the incident again. We don't know where these people are. Information has really been scanty and difficult to come by. So this is an opportunity to ask the Ghanaian people if they do have relatives who they believe are on the front lines, or who have spoken to them from the front lines of the Russia-Ukraine war, to make contact with the Foreign Ministry, and will be willing to assist in helping to rescue them and bring them back to safety. So thank you very much.
Thank you for those answers. We will now take 2 more questions in the interest of time. So if anybody has any question, they are free to walk up here and pose same to the Foreign Minister. So once again, you identify yourself and go straight to one question.
My name is Fred Zuho. I report for CTFM and Channel 1 TV. Honorable Minister, what's the status of our brothers who are currently in the US facing deportation? We want to get some update on that. Now that even, I think the restrictions has been relaxed a bit, where they are asking them to register and they'll be financed in a way to come back home. What's the procedure? How many people are we expecting to come back home? Thank you.
Mr. Minister, my name is Yao Mallet. I represent the Shapai Media. We are the publishers of the Ghana Official Handbook, co-publishers with the ISD and the different newspaper. You did mention the launch, and the planning committee is here. Is there going to be any particular or detailed program for Ghana, as it will be a year-long celebration? I don't want to know that.
All right, I will give a special dispensation to the Xinhua News Agency in the spirit of multilateralism.
Thank you very much. The name is Justice Aruboy from the Xinhua News Agency. Yes, I'm just following up on Mr. Mallet's question. What was conspicuously missing from the minister's, honorable minister's presentation is arrangements for media. We would like to know the detailed arrangements for our coverage, who is going to be the media liaison, etc., so that we aren't stranded. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So the minister will answer these questions.
Well, thank you very much. On the matter of deportations from the US, the brief from our Foreign Service officials in Washington has not changed. We are still looking at roughly at about 160 Ghanaians on the deportation list. That number has not increased, and the deportations are going on. We decided on humanitarian and human rights grounds not to publicize the deportation. So when they arrive, our team welcomes them. We help them with integration and returning to their families. And we're working with other partners, NADMO, the Ministry of Interior, the IOM, and we are doing all of that quietly because it's important to respect the dignity of our fellow compatriots and not to subject them to media coverage and publicity that will injure their reputation and the ability to integrate, find work, and get their lives back. So that is going on, and we can provide updates anytime you want that. So moving from Fred, Mr. Mallet is asking about other programs. Yes, apart from the launch, there will be other events. Ghana is also built to host a youth dialogue where about 1,000 young people from across the sub-region will converge here to have a dialogue on the future of ECOWAS, the ECOWAS they want for the next 50 years. So that youth dialogue is being organized in collaboration with the Ministry of Youth and Empowerment. So youth development and empowerment. And so I will say that in the course of time, details of these other programs, including a marathon, which will be held, an ECOWAS at 50 marathon, will provide details as and when the planning is concluded and the dates are confirmed. Then media arrangements. We did put out a notice that this is open to all members of the media, and so you can seek your accreditation. So there's a portal which is active, and our director for IPAB is here. If you need any clarifications, you can see her, Madam Baba, please. Yes, so journalists who have not yet received the accreditation, you can contact her, and our ISD colleagues, they will help you with the accreditation process. So it's open to all media houses, both local and international media. We are not leaving out any media. And the launch itself, we have already sent out invitations, and we expect that as many of you who are able to carry the launch event live should be encouraged to do that. So I think I'm done. Thank you very much.
All right, so we'll draw down the curtains on this morning's briefing by giving sincere thanks to the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration for that impressive briefing and the thorough clarifications provided to the questions that members of the media had. I thank all of you for coming. See you next time.